All right, welcome back to another episode of Dailyrapupcrew. No book up. I go by the name of Eli. As always, we got Keem with us.
Yes, indeed. It's your boy. Matter of fact, y'all know my name, and it's a good thing they got the AC on because I'm hotter than the flame. You heard? Follow me on the gram, Ace the Goat, 24.
Yeah, this guy, bro.
He wrote that shit.
I talk about shit that just happened, but I wrote it. Like, come on, man.
Come on, bro.
Come on, dog.
Go to room.
Come on, dog. How was I supposed
Let me
to know
put
you
my
got the
temperature
AC
line
man?
on real quick.
Man.
Yo,
Hotter than the AC. Yeah.
You know why he be hating so much? You know why he be hating so much? Because he gotta go after me. Go ahead, man.
Yo, matter of fact, last but not least, Jew, show him how to do, man. Like,
I mean, last but not least, came in the game, get all the money because I feast. You know what I mean? And, from Brooklyn, like Dave East. You heard?
wait, what? Like,
Yo, from NY. Yo.
Niggas said, edit that out.
Yeah. Y'all heard. But anyway, you.
He showing me how it's done.
Yo, I'm gonna come with a written. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna start coming with a written. I'm be like, AC, got the fan on. Yeah, you got the pan on. That's it, nigga. That's it.
Nah, man. You better off stealing my bars from the last show like you did last time, man.
Come on, bro.
That's crazy. But we got some special guests in the building, ladies. Let them know where they can find y'all at.
Instagram, small assets.
Small assets, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Small with some assets.
Okay.
My name is
bars, by the way. Bars, by the way.
My name is Jackie. You can find me at Jackie House, Instagram and YouTube.
My name is Katrina. You can find me on Instagram.
Come to the mic. Come to the mic.
Turn your mic
Yeah.
a little bit.
No,
Yeah.
he said I was fine, so I said, all right.
Nah, let it face you.
You mean fine.
Ow. My name is Katrina, and you can find me on Instagram at Katrina L. Rivera. That's Katrina with a K, like the hurricane.
Okay.
Like the hurricane.
Okay. You had bars on your shit.
Okay.
You got your flashlight, or you looking like the feds over here? What's going on?
I thought I knew better.
All right, get into my first topic. It says, how do y'all define double standards when it comes to colorism in the Black community or in the Hispanic community? Because we got a representative in the building.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
You know what I mean? I really wanted to talk about this because oftentimes, I hear about colorism and I understand that it happens in our community, but oftentimes it's portrayed from guys are the ones that's being the colorist in the community. Like, whether it's, guys, Black men preferring light-skinned women or whatever the case is. So, Arthur, I got a clip here that I wanted to bring up and we could discuss this real quick. Arthur, you can play that?
Well, that's the first topic of the day.
Caramel dark skin. Yeah, chocolate. So like chocolate. Not no light skin, none of that.
Why is that? Why y'all all like dark skin guys? Why is that?
I mean, I like light skin. I do not like light skin. They are too feminine for me. Dark skin. I prefer dark skin only. I mean, why are you still light skinned in 2019? I like my man black and chocolate. That's it. The darker the berry, the berry, the sweeter the juice. Don't. Light skinned niggas is bitches. Period. Sorry. It's like dark skinned men. They just. They're men. Dark skinned men. Light skinned boys. That's it. Oh. Alright, I say dark skin. Yeah, I say brown skin, dark skin.
Brown skin, dark skin?
Light skin guys are cool too.
Okay.
They like soft. They think
putting on blast.
And I'm like,
I outed a few dark-skinned niggas in my life.
Okay.
I like my men chocolatey, real tall.
Yeah, I like my men chocolate.
Light skin is alright though. If you look real good. Nah. If you, man, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be real tall.
All right, that's it, Arthur. But so basically, as y'all can see in this clip,
Basically, I got shitted on for 20
did,
seconds.
like,
Y'all didn't.
more like 1 minute, but I mean, it's all good.
Yo,
But-
what the hell?
So, like I said, we often talk about men being colorists in the Black community, but we never talk about women being colorists, just as colorists. And I hear women all the time prefer darker skinned men, But when it was crazy, when we was growing up, at one point it was the lighter skins that all the women loved the Chris Browns and all the light skinned dudes, the Michael Ealy, and
I'll be sure.
Yeah, then it transitioned into dark skinned like men. So I wanted to know, like, what's y'all take on that, and do y'all see that as a double standard in our community?
I don't really know if it's a double standard. I personally have been with a Spanish man, a dark-skinned man, a light-skinned man, in between. I mean, I think it just goes by the person, honestly. And then all the talking is cap. That's how I feel. I feel it's a personal thing. It's a personal preference. It's not like a double standard. It's just all that is cap. The double standard thing is cap.
Think
It's
so?
just because a lot of people talk about it.
What about like in the Hispanic? You don't see people like prefer the lighter skinned people over the darker skinned Hispanics?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like with me, I'm Puerto Rican.
Right.
But I'm asked if I'm Dominican. Like they want to specifically know what I am because of my skin tone. You know, like I don't know. I don't see it though personally because that's not how I am.
Yeah. Just make sure you come to the mic that way they can hear you. What about you, Jackie? How you feel about this topic?
Well, honestly, I wasn't really expecting all that. So it kind of just blew me away. So I do think that it is a double standard. And I would say, honestly, my preference has always been other than light skin. You know.
Damn it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like, you know, brown skin, dark skin. And it's funny because, like, you know, my man is actually light skin. So it just kind of, you know, happens. So I'm not anti-light skin. My dad is light skin. I have a lot of light skin men in my family, but it just wasn't what I was attracted to. But I just feel like that could not be your preference. I find a lot of them nice looking and good looking. It's just not, you know, my preference, I guess. Not saying that I would never date one. Obviously, I'm with one. But I do think that you could have your preference without being disrespectful because, like, they just kind of went in on light-skinned men, like, unnecessarily. And if men was to do that and say, oh, yeah, I don't like dark-skinned girls because they diss, and they was to go in on them like that, it would be taken totally different than, you know, just us not looking at this. Yeah, we laughing, you know, we could laugh at it, but it's like, totally disrespectful. But if men was to do the same thing and say why they like light skin and don't like dark skin, then they will be all types of.
We would have been burned already.
Literally, you know.
All types
you hate your mama.
You come from right?
Yeah,
you come from that,
and you hate yourself and all this other stuff, and you know. So, I think that is okay to have preference, but I think that you can have preference without being disrespectful and you know. Trying to down someone else. You know, I think it's like the same thing. It's the same topic, but different when you talk about, you know, men who date like white women or other race, right? Like, it's fine. Like, you could date them, but you don't have to put a black woman down to date them. You could just be like, well, this is just what I like. And it's fine. You don't have to say.
Instead of saying they're grateful or they just say,
now I don't do the black chicks because they always got to eat. You could just not do them. You could just not do them, you know?
That's fair. That's a fair point. Like, what about you? How you feel?
It's so funny because I think I agree with a lot of what Jackie just said, which was the fact that, you know, my dad is light-skinned. My fiance was light-skinned. Not to take it too there, but I don't think I have a personal preference either way. And what I'm about to say is just don't look at me, Jackie. But I got beat by a light-skinned guy, and I got beat by a dark-skinned guy. So they're going to be whoever they are.
Right.
Like, it really doesn't matter. I mean, I think that I've dated guys that was light-skinned that had the bag, and I've dated dark-skinned guys that had the bag. If they're going to take care of you, they're going to be good to you, they're going to be good to you. It doesn't matter what, you know, your skin tone is, what your complexion is. I think that any man, light skin, dark skin, all three you men are handsome. From the minute I walked in, you guys were very respectful, very polite. This young lady here was very respectful, polite. Jackie, I know you, so I know you was on your way. But I say that to say the same way we could compliment each other, it's like such a dynamic change now where women wouldn't compliment each other. Now we will, but we so quick to bash a man.
Right.
And I don't really think that it has a lot to do with your skin tone. I think that, and I'm not, please don't take this the wrong way, but I don't think any of them in that video should have really been going as hard as they was going.
At all. I don't even think they have the experience of that to speak on that kind of stuff.
Comfortable within yourself, and you haven't lived life enough, you haven't gone through enough to sit there and say.
They following suit.
Yeah, because one hat, you know, you can tell that. So, you know, I just think that for me personally, I've been on both sides of the train tracks, and I've seen good in both. I've seen negative in both. I just think that it's really based on the, you know, individual preference.
Right.
Well, me being a light-skinned dude, I want to tell you one thing. Like, it was, I think back in the days we had our little glory time, but that shit ended. Because every day I see niggas saying light-skinned niggas piss like this. And you looking like Prince. You go, I mean, light-skinned niggas shower like this. And we fanning us. Like, I'm like, come on.
Yeah, they do have a lot of like light-skinned niggas
smile,
be like
they smile like,
And,
you know, like eyes low. And,
or they be like, why you acting light-skinned?
So they're following those memes a lot, and a lot of black women following these memes. They see it, it's like, oh, okay, this is what they saying. Well, this must be true. Yeah. And it's like, yo, you sound stupid. You know what I'm saying? And me even hollering at a lot of, because I only prefer dark-skinned women. And I mean by like any shade darker than me is my preference. And me talking to dark-skinned women, they like, you know what I mean? They're already judging me based off the characteristics of what the society done claimed. You feminine, you soft, where there's pussy dark-skinned niggas out there. You get what I'm saying? There's soft like brown-skinned niggas out there, right?
That's a fact.
So I'm just saying, they all out there. You can't just say all light-skinned, because light-skinned niggas will pounce on, and it don't matter what color you is, anybody could get pounced, anybody could get touched. And I just don't like that you know what I mean? That gesture, that stereotype they have on us.
I think it's like just judging them in advance. Because my dad is light skinned, and you know,
I know he'll pounce him.
And you know, my dad's halfway crazy. But you know, I mean, I think that to just even for us to even separate ourselves from color by complexion. First of all, every single last one of us have our own hue. That's the beauty of being black, right? There's no one who's exactly the same shade. We are all pigmented like snowflakes, right? We all have our own hue, and and it's all shades of browns that's beautiful. And I think just for us, we already separate ourselves by nationality, which slave went over here, which one went over there, we already separate ourselves in so many ways. And I feel like we just constantly dividing ourselves, and we already the minority, you know? So now we got to divide ourselves through complexion, through country, through language, through sexuality. It's just so much divide, you know? And we are all black. We are one. And you know, I think that, you know, black is beautiful in all shades. And like I said, even though I got my preference, I do think that, you know, all complexions is still good looking.
And just how like young black girls feel like, oh, you know, when men say we prefer, you know, light-skinned women, and these young dark-skinned girls feel a type of way growing up, these young light-skinned black men feel a way when you're saying that they're already soft. Right. I grew up feeling like I wanted to get a tan because I was the lightest person in my family at one point. So I would stay in the sun because I wanted to be darker. You get what I'm saying? Just because, so I didn't want you to think I was soft because of my complexion. So just like how people feel, women, black, darker skinned women felt like they couldn't be beautiful because they was dark skinned, which is, you know, idiotic of people to say. The same way a light skinned man could grow up. My son, who's 6 years old, could be like, damn, well, they said I'm pussy, so I might be. You know what I'm saying? You just don't know.
Exactly.
I think it's deeper than a complexion thing. I think that it's not the complexion thing. I think that it's just an internal thing, right? So if you're not raised right and you don't know no better, that's what you're gonna go off of. That's what you're gonna do. I don't think it has a lot to do, because me being light skinned, you couldn't tell me I wasn't like gonna be winning like when we was younger growing up, me and my sister, because she was dark skinned, right? And it was all the attention like was always on me, especially because we're close in age. The attention was always on me. And I always thought, even from us being little, I always thought she was so pretty. I always thought she was so beautiful, right? And I'm a pretty girl, but I think she is still, even with us being grown, she is beautiful. And at the age we are now, the last like year, she's just grown into her beauty and being dark skinned and accepting it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that that's one point. And something else I wanted to say was, even though, you know, women or girls will say, I like me a dark-skinned man, or I like me a light-skinned man, or I like this kind of guy. At the end of the day, it really has, again, very little to do with light-skinned and dark-skinned, because you got to know if he likes you. He may not like you.
That's so true.
Right. He may not like you. You could like, I've had somebody pull me and curse me out because she was telling me something about someone, and I'm like, oh, I know him. I used to date. Well, I'm dating him now. And she got so upset, and I'm like, okay, well, you're not my man, boo. Rock out with your cock out. And she's like, well, I shouldn't have did that because I don't even know if he liked me.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, that's tough.
You don't know.
I do like that.
I ain't gonna hold you. When I was younger, you know what I mean, light-skinned guys was in when I was young. Like, I remember 6th, 7th grade, we had this light-skinned dude in the class, and all the girls on this dude because he light-skinned, bro. And I'm like,
You had your veneers then, or no?
I always had these, bro. Come on. Like, come on, man. But I just couldn't understand it, bro. I'm like, just because he light skinned, bro. So once the dark skins came in style, you know what I mean? I was like, you know what I mean? We out here, you feel me?
I wonder where was that?
I did remember that. I don't remember that at all.
We was outnumbered. Tyrese was out, and he was singing.
Morris Chestnut.
Yeah, Morris Chestnut. It was just everybody that was famous at the time.
Because it's always been like that with the women. But with men, it started becoming an issue. But women already dealt with that because, like, I was considered the dark-skinned sister. My sister's light-skinned, right? And I even remember, like, the paper bag test. You know, how many times we put the paper bag against me? Like, oh, you darker than that. You know, and even with, like, I remember at one of my old jobs, like, years ago, I went back and forth with someone about me being dark skin or brown skin. And it's like, why I gotta argue about my complexion? You know, and it was a white woman actually. She was like, I'm sorry, but you're dark skin. I said, I'm sorry, but you're not in this conversation. Like, you don't have a say so. You go to the tanning salon.
But that's what I wanted to say though, like, you mentioned slavery and shit. I think that's they continuing to divide black people today, and that's one of the tactics that they use. You know what I mean?
That's a fair point.
Light skin, dark skin, we all black people, and they fear us coming together.
I don't agree.
You don't agree with what?
That other races are dividing us. I think we do more.
But that started on the plantation. That light skin, dark skin thing started on the plantation.
That might have started it, but that's not what's keeping it going now. I don't agree and don't believe that that's what's keeping it going now because we so quick to, I mean, with every topic, anything, we are so quick to alienate each other. We don't give nobody else
it's the crab in the barrel mentality you're referring to.
Yes, we don't give nobody else no room. We don't give them time.
We never came out of that mentality. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
That started there, and we never escaped that.
It's cause to effect.
It's so many, black-owned businesses now. It's so many, black people in power now. It's so many, different black power movements and people where you could just speak up and be supportive. And every chance that we get to be supportive to each other, we don't take it and we run the opposite way.
That's a fact.
When Bill Cosby, I'm not saying what he did was right because he was wrong. But before he was found guilty, we had memes and we had jokes and they took his star up. And it's like everybody was supportive of it because before it even got to anyone else, we were the first ones like, oh, well, he must have did it to Rudy. Oh, he must have had a good time with Vanessa. And it's like,
we didn't take it as serious.
Yeah. And we
as other
nail them before anybody else get a chance to. And it's like, if we don't got to step in, they doing enough.
But you're right, though. It does come from, I'm not saying that. I agree with you as well. Like, it is now, at this point, it's like, you got a choice to support or not support at this point.
Right.
And what is the reasoning not to? But because it stemmed from so far back, it's just like with us, like you see how we could come together and have a decent conversation and like agree to disagree. Whereas there's people who were raised to not even have a voice and they continue to be like that. You talk to a man 20 years older than you right now where you would say something to somebody, he wouldn't. So it's kind of in the same boat as that. It's been happening so long, it just comes so natural to just push it to the side or discredit it or downplay it.
Just like the same fact that certain white people feel still privileged over black people and slavery is still over, supposedly. You know what I mean?
It's just, slavery is not over. It's just transformed to a different form.
Different form. I agree.
I feel like that white people will always have that advantage. Like, you know what I mean? But dividing us, that's like she said, that's a decision we making. You know what I mean? So we got to come together.
I mean, with that decision still being made, it doesn't take what you was taught or what's comfortable in your
mentality.
Home.
It's a decision, but some people don't even realize they're making that decision because it's in
natural.
Subconscious. And you have to be educated to understand how we got here. And I think like during this time right now was the perfect time for us to just kind of look back and find out how we got here. That's definitely what I spent this whole pandemic just learning about our history and what got us here. How did we end up with the crab in the barrel mentality?
Y'all said so many good points. I ain't really have to. I'm just listening to it and all the information though. But yeah, I mean, I agree with everything y'all said. Like it's just there's this stigma now going around where like light skinned men are looked at as more feminine. And people associate, masculinity with darker skinned men. And, unfortunately, like when I see that video, I'm just like, damn, I just keep picturing, if a black person has said that, a black man has said that about a black woman, black women are, they rough. I can't be with a black, they too rough. Just like she said, there was light-skinned men was feminine. They would kill him. Like, he'd be canceled quicker than, but stuff like this, we laugh it off, like when it's a woman's perspective. And I'm just like, stuff like this needs to have more of a conversation.
Mm-hmm. Do you think, one question, do you think like the media have a part to do with that? Because when you think about like movies, I'm not really a TV person, but when you think about these movies and these roles, they usually have like the chocolate fine men with the oil dripping all over him, and they usually give the darker actors a certain type of character versus the lighter actors.
No, that's just like they pick the pretty light-skinned girl most of the time, and then they get the average dark-skinned chick.
and they get the dark-skinned girl in the roles. She's usually a little louder, or the big girl that's a little funny, and So I think naturally we not really learning. We not understand. We've been programmed since we came out the womb. And that's programmed because our parents is programmed.
And that's why I said white people, bro. That's what I'm saying.
But Terrence Howard is not dark-skinned, and he's getting sexy roles.
Who?
What's that?
Terrence Howard? Sexy roles, yeah.
Nah, he get her roles though.
He get roles, but he don't get like the massive.
Yeah, I ain't never seen no. Yeah, I ain't never seen him with his shirt on. I ain't never seen him with his shirt on.
When he was that pimp, when he was a pimp,
hard out here for a pimp. He had all the. I'm about to say, oh damn, I'm about to say, oh. He had all the ladies.
Yeah, exactly. He did have all the ladies.
Empire,
but he was a pimp.
Empire, he was a hard. Empire, he was a hard dude. I mean, Empire, he wasn't soft in Empire.
See, I only watched the first.
But he had to prove that light skinned niggas wasn't soft. That was the whole show. I'm light skinned. I'm not soft.
Right.
That was his whole character.
Yeah.
I'm not pussy because I'm light skinned.
Maybe that's what's going to turn y'all around. I don't know, man.
What?
I'm gonna have to snuff you on the show right now.
Yeah.
Next topic.
We can talk about this topic all day. I'm not gonna lie, because it's like I said, it's deep. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna skip over my topic because I feel like that topic took up a lot of time. So my last topic is how y'all feel about mandatory vaccination? This mandatory vaccination that's been going on. How y'all feel about that?
I don't agree with it.
Why not?
Even though I am fully vaxxed. I don't agree with it mandatory because we have a choice. Y'all trying to take away a choice again.
Y'all got a choice.
Again.
You still got a choice.
Now when they saying like, yo, you can't have a job, you can't have a job, you can't go outside.
You
like,
still got a choice.
I mean, it's still, you 100%, you right.
If you
100% right. You 100% right. We still have a choice.
What?
It's only mandatory. You know, like
if you want to live,
specific job. No. The job part about it. Yeah, you know, but that's.
But if
living,
the job,
like I'm at
the gym, the restaurants, the concerts.
You know, even though those stuff, I feel like those things are just
cook,
whatever.
Buy some dumbbells.
Like, as far as your livelihood, your job, you making it mandatory is ridiculous.
It is.
And I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of those companies that are making it mandatory, them high ups are not vaccinated.
Hello. They're not.
And I'm going to tell you, they're not fast.
Even there's people in the government that's not vaccinated.
Yes. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And they didn't mandate it on us.
And mind you, and when we was out here working, like essential workers like myself and other people that was out here, we didn't get no compensation when we was putting our lives at risk every day.
Staying home getting nothing.
Getting more money than me. Getting paid more than me. And I'm working every day, 12, 13 hours, and not getting an extra dollar, nothing. Like, oh, yo, hold this. And another thing, you know, they're taking away from work, but they even taking it away from the people that was getting like, you know, government assistance. They're saying they're taking it, if you're not vaccinated, they're not going to get, so where's the livelihood for the people that can't even, our grandmothers or, you know, aunts and uncles who can't work.
Right.
You're taking their disability check because they can't go get vaccinated or they're not comfortable with it.
They taking your food stamps if you can't get vaccinated?
That's
I gotta go, y'all.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna head out, like, you know what I mean? Like,
but that's a tactic that they're using. Yeah. Eventually, if it's not at full blast now, it will be there.
Yeah, this is a fact. I mean, it's the government, bro. Like, the government gonna get what they want, regardless, bro. Because how many people depend on the government? Like, they can do what they want.
And they made us depend on the program.
Exactly.
Right out the womb. I seen somebody post something up this morning, actually. I wanted to unfollow him, but I thought it was petty. But he had posted up a sign that everyone should be mandated to do a vaccine or they should be forced
What?
And so with so many comments on it that like I totally agree. Like,
were they gonna come to your crib, hold you down, and then put the needle in your arm?
They said there's
like,
a video going around of somebody just and leaving a note. You know, it's probably cap. It's social media.
Wait, what you mean they going around?
But like that, they just stab you with the vaccine, give you a paper that says come to this address.
All right, until somebody gets shot, you know what I'm saying,
right?
And then you want somebody to be fucking considerate to their feelings.
Yeah. But honestly, man, I don't feel like it's right because people who are not vaccinated are not risking people's lives who are vaccinated because the vaccinated is supposed to stop you from dying, period. You feel me? So if I'm in a room with a person that's not vaccinated, I'm good. You the one that's at risk. You know what I mean? So if you want to be at risk, that's your choice.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's what people don't get.
It's just like your choice. But it's like I said, it's the power of having a choice though. When you take the choice away is what the conflict comes. Because who are you to tell me what to put in my body?
Yeah.
And they're not even sure about it.
And I hate that thing like, oh, y'all put stuff in your bodies all the time. Yeah, but that's our choice.
That's my choice though. That's what I'm saying.
Yo, y'all get somebody said, oh, women get ass injections. That's their choice.
And it may sound childish.
Like, they know what the fuck they signed up for.
Right. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Now he wants to do it.
Yeah.
Now you telling him you have to do it. Now I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? Like,
once you mandate, then it's like, yo, really?
It's real suspect once it's made. Because I was thinking about it, but now
they
the
overboard.
mandate.
They talking about $100 and free this and free that.
You giving me a chicken sandwich, nigga? Like what?
And free blunts. They're giving out drugs for it.
Oh yeah,
they was giving out free blunts.
Now
they better be back. They better be back paying that $300, man. Because shit.
I ain't get no $100. I ain't know nothing about that. You know, like I did it because it was my choice.
Oh, I was about to say
they was giving $100 movie tickets.
They still doing $100.
Yeah, $100. They was giving out lottery tickets.
Oh yeah, they were. Yeah.
Tell me you gonna win, so I'm gonna die twice.
Right? Hello.
I like this game.
I'm mad I got that shit too early. Then I ain't get shit for vaccine.
Wait, sorry. I just wanted to say something really quickly. This probably has not much to do with this, but it does. Racism starts in the medical field too.
100%.
I mean, everywhere though.
It is everywhere.
I'm telling you, I used to be in the medical field. Whether you a nurse, a doctor, they look at your chart. They will pull your chart and they will look and they will see what your nationality is, your race. They will look and that will also be a determining factor on whether or not they're gonna pull you in or if they're not.
On overtime, extra shit.
Just to see you as a patient.
Yeah.
Oh, see you as a patient.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, you know, and we're still at like the bottom of the totem pole, right? So it's like Caucasians, Asians, other Hispanics, and then blacks. So
everybody else.
And then blacks. So it's like, let's just say that I went into the doctor and I was just complaining of shortness of breath. And she went into the doctor. Please tell me your name again. I'm so sorry. Katrina.
With the K.
With the K.
With the K.
And we both went in for shortness of breath, right? They'll look at the chart and they'll see whose race is what, and they'll take her.
Right.
I always wonder why they ask you what race you are on that chart.
Yeah, I don't understand
why does that matter?
Why does that matter? Like,
but to them it does though.
Documentation reasons, like they be having all these statistics supposedly.
You don't need no documentation.
No, it's just like what she said. It's so that when later on, when you do come in the hospital, that's already on record. They already know what you are, who you are, where you come from, what's it. Do I want to see her? Oh, Hispanic, no.
But now
Mexican.
with all of this, the mandating they doing, there's a lot of like teachers that's like leaving now, and they not, so now the schools is going to be suffering from that because a lot of teachers who's not down with taking a vaccine.
Yeah. I seen that on the news today.
So many teachers that's walking out of the classrooms, and I know a lot of them that works in school that's telling me that the schools is chaos now.
Yeah.
So
it is.
A lot of bus drivers too. I've been seeing that too.
They quit and then they say fuck you.
They really weren't ready. As a parent, they really wasn't ready. Like public schools were not ready. It's a hot mess.
It makes me wonder, like, what is the reason for the mandation, right? Like, I know that if more people get vaccinated, the hospital is going to save money because it's going to be less people going in the hospitals. But as far as like making people, unsafe, it's like I think they selling it to them wrong.
But you can still catch COVID with
you can still catch it.
Vaccinated.
You can still spread it. To me, and I hate to say it because whatever, right? But like I went to a concert. and you had to be vaccinated to go to it, right? So because if you was vaccinated, it was the Biggie concert, and it was like thousands of people outside. And it was not near one mask, right? So I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go. I'm a girl, whatever. So I stood on line, and the guy behind, he was like, oh yeah, we don't have to wear a mask because we vaccinated. And I'm like, they think that they could be reckless because you have a vaccine. And I'm like, do you still know that you still can get it and spread it? And I think when they get in it, it's making them a little more reckless. Whereas someone like me,
to it like that.
someone like me, I'm gonna be a little more careful. I'm not touching my face. I'm not, just certain things. I'm not gonna be just reckless because I feel like I'm,
vaccinated,
immune to it.
It's not that you can't catch it, but you're not gonna die from it. You feel me?
So supposedly, we don't know. We don't know. I mean, and if it is, why would they report that if they trying to promote their agenda? And I'm not saying it's not true, and I'm not saying it's not false. We just don't know nothing, and you're not gonna know nothing if they're trying to promote a particular way. I know somebody gonna be in the comments like, yeah, these niggas clearly don't got the vaccine. Yeah, I don't. But I mean,
I'm pretty sure you heard something from somebody. Ray down the block would have been like, yo, he had the vaccine and he died.
But I know a lot of people who got the vaccine who got sick. I know a lot of people who got the vaccine who didn't, who had COVID, who didn't get the vaccine, who had COVID and didn't die and didn't get sick, right? So
I never took a flu shot in my life.
Me either. So why can't I just depend on my immune system and God versus the doctors? Maybe I don't want to trust in the doctors. And maybe I just want to get y'all, maybe once I get another few hundred batches, and then I decide I could tweak it and make it a little better. It's not that I'm anti-vaccine. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I feel like if a person decide they want to do it, they should be able to, and you should have the right to do it or not.
Yeah,
right. Like
that's fair. That's how I mean.
You're not dirty if you don't do it. Like they acting like you got the cooties or some shit.
Because look at these signs on the outside of doors and stuff. You're not vaccinated or ID and vaccination required.
I'm telling you, it's gonna go from race war to vaccinated.
Even at the airport, though, they got the
teachers and stuff stopping though. The vaccinated stopping and not agreeing with it though. That's what needs to happen. Even though as a parent, I'm tight. I'm tight. It's the people that shut down again. The people that it's what needs to happen. Like power to the people. Like the people have to stand up for what they want. You want stuff done? Bully it.
That's true.
Shut it down. You the teachers.
But like I said, I got some interesting. We could talk about this all day, but we're gonna have to have a part 2 to this because I ain't gonna lie. I get deep. Yo, Jew, what we talk about?
All right, my first topic is giving a woman a compliment catcalling.
No.
It depends on how you complimenting, because a compliment that you feel is a compliment may not be a compliment. It depends how you say it.
If it's not a compliment.
Yeah, like that, right? Because listen, no. That's a perfect example because you see that happen a lot. You see that happen before, right?
Fat ass, shorty.
Is that a compliment? Would you think that's a compliment? In 2021, in 2021, you think a woman is thinking you telling me I got a fat ass is a compliment?
In 2021, that is a compliment, man.
That's a compliment.
You going to jail now?
Yes.
But anyway, I hear y'all, but I had a friend, right? And I'm on the phone with him, right? We all work together. He works the same place I work, and we sometimes we get on a group chat, whatever. And he tells a woman, "You look amazing."
Mm-hmm.
And all I hear is her.
Before you go on, is that a compliment?
What? You
look amazing. No,
you look amazing.
You look amazing.
Yo, why she got like
She hear that a lot.
That's just the
stupid fat ass.
You got the stupid fat ass, Bob. Where you going? With that
ass. Bring that ass over here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
walk a little slower. Let me see.
Jump up and down.
You drop that.
But do you take that as a compliment when they say that to you?
And I don't even play that type of game.
Oh,
they say you look amazing.
You look amazing.
You look amazing.
Oh, sorry.
You look
I'm about
amazing.
to see my real size.
I'm about to say, damn, we niggas can't say shit like
that.
Sorry.
She said,
yeah, you look amazing.
I think that's a compliment. I don't think anything is wrong with that.
Okay.
But
there's nothing wrong with that.
But I'm on the phone and all I hear is shorty like, "Why the fuck you calling me?" And da-da-da-da. And then he's like, all I was saying was that you look good. I know I fucking look good. I don't need to tell you. And saying that it's catcall. And then I even brought this situation up to other females that I know, right? And they said that it is catcalling because you don't need justification from a man to tell you to get.
But so that's not justification. They like, why niggas want to protest?
No. Yeah. That's a own insecurity. If you walking, you getting crazy because somebody said you look amazing. I'll be like, there's nothing wrong. I'll be like,
just keep moving.
Have a nice day.
But Jackie, we all know you're an anomaly. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't gotta tell
we knew
you
that
I
last
know.
episode. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you don't gotta let it know. You know you look amazing. If you know you look amazing, then why are you so offensive by him telling you that? You know you look amazing. Thank you.
Well, I think it is. Sometimes I think, women, I don't know, they just don't want to hear nothing from a man.
I was walking down the street with my friend one day, and these guys was like, "Oh, you guys," we was about to go out, and these guys was like, "Oh, yeah, you girls look really good," or whatever, just complimenting us, not even trying to holler or anything, just like complimenting us. And she was like, "Oh my God, they get on my nerves. They act like they never saw pretty girls." She just like went in. I was like, "Girl, I don't do that."
This is a part of the reason why men say chivalry is dead. I understand your point. You made a valid point about how God
it's going too far.
Yeah, that's understandable. That's not. That's
if you keep it respectful,
but if you keep it respectful, and you still like, you know what I mean? Then guys is feeling like there's no purpose of me being a gentleman because if I can't open the door for you because you feel like, yo, I'm a woman, you don't need to open my door.
I can open my own door.
I can open my own door. It's like, yo, why am I being chivalrous then? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it makes no difference. Like,
not for nothing though. As men, y'all should be happy that they do it because they show their colors right there. You ain't got to move forward after that. It's just like, oh.
I mean, I hear that, but then you just make it scared for a dude to approach the next female.
But why?
But don't take that. Don't carry that with you.
Men deal with more rejection than females.
That's true. But guess what? What they said, Starbucks got like 400 or something. I don't know. I could be wrong about that.
That's because men shoot they shot more.
Like 400 something no's before they got the yes, right? So I think that you should not have to change who you are or how you approach things based on, a bad episode. That's like me saying, I met this, because I did meet this jerk before, right? And honestly, he was the only jerk that I ever met. But I'm not going to be like, I don't trust no men now, or I don't want to be nice to any men, or you get what I'm saying? Because like that was that experience. So
I just thought of something. Everything you just said is very true. When a woman feels the type of way, it's one thing, right? For him to open the door or to hold the door, do whatever the situation was, right? The scenario. And you be like, I already know, goddamn, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to draw so much attention to that guy. Now he looks like the weirdo and the pedophile. Mm-hmm. What is he doing to her that she's screaming and she's carrying him?
Right. Facts.
Unnecessary.
That's embarrassment.
So, because we have brothers and we have men in our lives, I get what you're saying, but I totally get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
So what you do is, and I'm giving you permission, when you open the door, and that bitch said, you don't need to open my door. You back it up, you close the door, you let her open her own door.
I mean,
how dare you slam the door in my face?
I think it just goes to certain people.
But she's basically saying, how dare you open the door for me?
Yeah, like, but those are women that are very, like, arrogant and, like, I call those store-bought bitches.
I call them just straight.
I think this goes, like, to the point where it was that meme where it was, like, sexual harassment is only sexual harassment if the woman doesn't find you. People. Yeah, if they don't find you attractive. Like, because an unattractive person can say the same thing. Yo, you look amazing. Oh, you a creep, this, that. But if a guy that she finds attractive say the same thing, oh, thank you. You know what I'm saying?
They be like, I don't know why he talks to me. He should know he should not be talking to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like
shit, I ain't know I was ugly until you told me.
Yo, so
is that what you really trying to tell me?
Yo, so you gotta tell your man he ugly, bro.
So let me ask you guys. So when that happened, like if y'all was because clearly, I mean, I would think that you guys would be used to rejection as men, right? Because
you saying they ugly?
No, I'm saying I did. But what I'm saying is, I'm thinking in general, men, like you said, men are used to more rejection than females. Right?
I feel like that.
Yeah. So because women don't get rejected, right?
They don't put themselves out there.
Yeah, we don't put ourselves out there
to get rejected.
So this is something that you guys have to deal with. But if y'all go out and you get rejected from the first girl, the second girl, do you feel like I don't want to talk to anybody else?
After a while, like years of rejection. This is why I always talk about years of rejection.
Let's talk about one night. You just asking, and you trying to.
You still getting rejected about a good decent amount of.
It depends.
You getting rejected more than you getting.
But throughout the night, is your confidence level coming down? Like, all right, I don't want to talk to nobody else.
Not everybody built like that. Like me personally, like I could hear 1 million rejections, right? And then let's say I get 5, 6 of them. that's cool with me because I know 9 out of 10, I'm never gonna see you again. But a lot of people don't think like that. So I'm like, and if I do see you again, I'm like, damn, you fucked up. You missed out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll say that as a joke. And they're like, fuck out of here. No, you fuck out of here now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? I'll let you know. So
a great man once told me, if you want a beautiful woman, you gotta holler at 10. So, and I've heard women say that they turn down men that they actually wanted to talk to just because of the situation. You feel me? So I don't never take it personally.
You can't talk to women. The only way to talk to women is through social media and dating sites.
It gotta be sunny. It gotta be sunny. The wind gotta be blowing from northwest to southwest at 50 miles per hour. Like, it gotta be the perfect situation to talk to a woman.
But when is the perfect time for a man to approach a female?
It depends on that woman.
That seems so weird to me because I don't. Honestly, it's so crazy because I know I hear a lot of this with guys is not approaching women, and a lot of women saying that, but I don't have that issue. And I'm not saying like, I'm just like the baddest woman in the. It could be energy, and I think aura and energy have a lot to do with it. Because like even yesterday, I had rollers in my head, and I kind of put like a scully on. I had to run to the supermarket, and came back in the house. I'm like, babe, these guys out here is just so thirsty.
Listen, that's when they start. When you comfortable,
that's not thirsty.
That's not thirsty. Not for nothing.
And that's what we hear all the time.
That is
but
trying to talk to me, and I'm in my pajamas.
It's not even trying to talk to me. It's like you follow me down, sir, and I'm like, I say hi because I'm a person. I speak to whoever speaks to me. If you nice to me and kind to me, I'm gonna be kind to you. I don't have to be. I don't care what you look like. You understand? I could turn you down nicely. I'm not gonna make you feel like shit at the end of the day. You trying to talk to me? I'd be like, and they be like, can I take you out? I'd be like, you won't take me and my boyfriend out because we always do everything together. And they be like, nah. Right. You know? Or I'd be like, I got a man, but if he wasn't, even if he horrible, I'd be like, you are tight too. I would have. If you wasn't, I would have got you.
Right. Till they see this big ass nigga at the door, like you rang,
I like me a good gorilla.
I feel like it's nothing wrong with just kind of easily letting them down if they don't come at you aggressive. And in turn, it goes back to women wanting to be protected by the men, right? And I feel protected, by men outside because I speak. I see all the guys in my neighborhood. Like even today, it was like, remember I was on the phone and I was like, hey, everybody. It's like 25 guys I saw. Right. And they're like, oh, hey, you understand? Like, so I know if anything was to happen, they gonna have my back. And I've seen it many times. If something happened to me, a guy disrespect me, I never had to defend myself or do anything. So, I think women don't understand that, that energy goes a long way of just being nice and just friendly.
And
that doesn't mean that you're going to lay down.
Also secure.
That's what that has.
Because a secure woman going to try to get what she wants. You know what I mean? Like, if you already like that, if you secure, you're going to shoot your shot. You're not going to wait for him. You're not going, you know what I mean? Like, you want it, you're going to say something. Not too many women is doing that.
Yeah.
But it does happen though.
Yeah. Or secure woman can just
a
secure woman can also just be comfortable with somebody speaking to them.
Before you go to Jackie, when you said that you was in your now I'm gonna tell you why guys feel and want to do that is because if you're comfortable to be in your own skin with rollers on and a scully on,
I had a cover.
I'm just saying, you felt comfortable enough to be your natural self. When a man see that, the reason why they going after you and they might be starving more at that point because you didn't have to make yourself look like a Barbie doll to go out. So they're like, oh shit, she down to earth. I know this for a fact already.
A lot of women can't even go to the store without putting on a
right.
So that reason when a man see that, he's like, shit, she willing to go out. Like you said, Katrina, in your pajamas. Okay, you're comfortable enough. I know I ain't gotta be somebody else in front of you because you willing to be yourself. You get what I'm saying? You're not made up.
Men see that confidence. You know what I mean? No matter what you're wearing. That confidence is sexy just like I is sexy for women. To see a man with confidence is sexy for men to see women with confidence.
And comfortability. That's it.
That's true.
Because we see so much with the face beat, you know what I mean? The fake this, fake that, you know what I mean?
And y'all be imagining what they look like without it. Like,
I'll be like,
ladies do it too. Stop fronting. Because once a nigga got on sweats, y'all trying to measure our shit. That's it.
I do. I'm single. I sure do.
I know.
And I've got caught for looking. What are you looking at, Vac?
You knew what you was doing.
Yep.
And you put no basketball shorts under there neither.
Y'all be blind there.
I can tell from sweatpants. I can tell from how somebody's thin. Listen. I could tell from how you stand. If you got that horse,
You about to say you about to tell from niggas sitting down.
So do you be dog calling?
No, I don't do.
Dog calling? Yeah, that's the first time I heard that.
I never heard that.
Because you know, girls is cats,
cat calling.
dogs, so
Yo,
I'm saying.
it's very rare.
I think you might have just made that term
I
up.
did.
Like,
We're gonna put that on the t-shirt.
We'll give you the commissions.
First of all, as soon as I leave here, I'm gonna dog call. I'm be like, yo, big dick.
Yo, it's crazy because men are not.
I don't know how I would react.
Like,
if a female said that to me, I don't know if I'd be like,
men not really used to women coming up to us shooting they shot. Like, we'd be surprised. Like,
yo, so I sent in here.
Like,
Come here for a minute.
We gonna think it's a scam. We gonna think somebody trying to set us up or some shit. Like, yo. Like,
I never holler at a guy. I never approached a guy.
Never?
Never.
Yo,
I never went up to a guy and try to like, no, I never did that. But I had friends that did. Even my sister, she'd go to her like, hello, I'm such and such, and you are. I'm like, girl, you so
I've
bold.
never done that either. I'm not that bold.
Me either.
I'm not that bold.
That's sexy, man. I ain't gonna lie.
that is sexy. Like, yo.
All right, how you doing? True religion. Right now. All right.
I'm fine.
That sounds good.
Yeah, you may say something like that. Or you can,
That's a perfect way to kind of start the conversation.
What was that?
A woman like, what's that you got on? It smell good. You know, like, I shoot my shot. If I need to, not now. But if I wanted to shoot my shot, I have definitely.
You can do it like that without coming off like you holler.
Definitely,
and maybe
right.
guys should take those
in a
kind of notes
respectful
too.
way as well.
You get what I'm saying? Like, because women love hearing compliments about their hair. So when a guy be like, "Oh, your hair look nice. I like your hair," you know what I'm saying? Like.
I don't do compliments no more because compliments
it
put you in.
No,
you can't say that. You gotta act like you don't know it's a wig.
That's a nice ass wig. Like, where you get that from?
No.
Damn, I was about to be like, thank you. See, like that.
That's the attention to detail right there.
They want you to know that you notice other things that you know the details, not just the things that's
not just
obvious.
The physical,
yeah, that's why I don't give women compliment in the beginning. I start off with a joke. You know what I'm saying? Just
you camel toe, sweetheart.
Yeah, sexual harassment.
Yo, what do you mean? I need to know. Like, that's Brooklyn?
No.
Oh, all right.
We will not take credit for that.
All right, cool. I'm like, goddamn.
Sound like the Bronx, but I ain't gonna say nothing. Like, you know what I mean?
Definitely Manhattan, boo.
Okay.
Yeah,
So they both Manhattan.
They both Manhattan.
Close enough. Like, you know what I mean?
Not to the Bronx. You better take that back.
But why is it that we come off like the Bronx? We Manhattan, but everybody
Y'all
like
uptown. What y'all uptown to Brooklyn people? Y'all all the way uptown.
And that's so weird because you
Right?
said that to me the other day. Like I always associated with like
You up.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like people don't jack Manhattan as a borough. They always just jack Harlem or Uptown.
So
or
we
like,
Brooklyn reminds me of Staten
Island is
Island.
just canceled.
Yeah.
Period.
Stapleton specifically.
Harlem took over the whole Manhattan in New York eyes.
Right.
You know
Look,
what I'm
Brooklyn
saying?
reminds me of Stapleton.
Right?
Yeah, Keem, what we talking about, Keem?
All right, I'm gonna piggyback off this topic. What's one thing that y'all wish men understood about women?
Fellas, pay attention.
We don't understand us, so what can they understand?
I know. I don't even know how to answer that.
I don't understand us.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Like, yeah.
That's something. That's exactly what we mean. I think say something. That's what we mean.
I didn't even know.
What you said?
When we're telling you something, that's exactly what we mean. It's not what you're trying to say. You understand? What you're trying to say.
No.
I need y'all to understand. We said what we said. That's what we said.
No, because women be like, leave me alone.
To say.
And then they had,
why you leave me alone?
Don't really leave them alone. Don't really leave them alone.
Exactly.
Right?
So don't say that.
Say what y'all said.
Don't say
mean
that. Don't say that.
I mean, I personally cannot. I'm not gonna say leave me alone, and I don't want to be left alone.
But 99.999%.
So personally, if I tell you to leave me alone,
I never said
respectfully,
leave me alone.
leave me alone.
First woman
that
ever.
means I need to get my own stuff together. Like it don't even have nothing to do with you.
First woman ever.
Got to get myself together. But we say what we say. Like
no, because y'all also say and they also say.
I mean, I could be not shit neither, but when I say something like
they also say I don't need no nigga, and
I don't mean that.
But then they be like, oh, how you a real nigga if you ain't paying my bill? But you just said you don't need me.
I need them.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
I don't feel like anybody needs anybody. You know, I don't feel like we need each other.
But you expect, but you expecting them if you don't need them.
Need.
I need my woman.
Saying, like,
So
I need my man.
You would be good by yourself for the rest of your life.
Man.
For the rest of your life.
I can't speak for the rest of my life.
That's what I'm saying. So
But
you
then you need
need,
a man.
if you can't surely say that. If you can't surely say that,
I can give you
companionship.
Companionship.
Let's talk about
definitely.
Yeah.
All right, so definitely. That, if that in that sense, if it's we talking in that sense,
what you said?
Regardless,
definitely,
companionship.
definitely.
Mental stimulation.
Yes,
like,
100%.
so many different things. I think we need each other.
Yeah, you need that.
each other.
Look, you need that too. Look, all of that. All of that.
Sorry, carry on.
Just hold me.
You right. I might. Yeah, you right. I think I changed my mind.
That's right.
That be the shit that be having niggas in their feelings like, yo, she's gonna show me.
Nah.
Yeah, because if a man feel like you don't need him, he ain't gonna
find somebody that do.
Because a man needs to be needed. They need to feel needed.
Right.
You know, so if you don't need him, guess what? You just gonna be something to do.
And men don't say we don't need our woman. How often you ever hear men say, I never
heard no man say I don't need no woman.
We always say I need my mama, I need my woman.
Right.
Everything.
And to be honest with you, I think a woman need a man more than a man need a woman.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
And listen, I'm a strong woman.
I wasn't going to tell y'all that, but that's my cousin. We are biologically related.
Why do you say that? But why do you
We're biologically related.
I think she's my cousin too.
Well, I say
we come from the same family.
In my family, we have a lot of females, but when
I'm
something go wrong and shit hit the fan, we calling up the cousins, we calling up our dad, you understand? And those are the ones that come
specific situations, like more of a muscle thing, or like more of a
regardless.
Like
whatever.
I mean, I think for a lot of situations, I mean, it could be for muscles. It could be for.
But even us,
even
you can ask me a question from a man perspective.
Yeah.
We talk all the time.
Like when you go through certain things with a man, right? You want to talk to your homie. Like I'm talking to this guy because you're trying to understand how a man's brain works.
I'm definitely talking to another man.
Yeah. So we need men in so many ways. We need men, and I think we just kind of like we look over how much they actually do for us.
But that's the demasculating of them.
But they definitely do a lot.
They sure do.
They definitely do a lot.
Because if you got something heavy come out the car, you see a guy, excuse me, can you help me? You ain't gonna ask a chick.
Yeah, how many niggas help women up the stairs?
All the time. I'm so thankful for the guys in the hood. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it.
Broadway Junction, I can't tell you how many strollers I lifted up.
You on your own. That's one step, so I don't know if I'm going up.
And you be looking for a guy so they can help you. And
better hope it's on the way down.
And if a pregnant woman is on a train or something like that, and a man is sitting down, you're not going to look at the female. You're going to look at the male like, that. He's sitting there, he ain't even getting up. You understand?
I got up. I don't know. I just got.
It's so natural in our subconscious that we don't even realize how much we
take it for granted. Like, you know what I mean?
That's exactly what it is. We take it for granted.
Yeah.
But shout out to you, Jackie. I
ain't gonna hold you, man.
That's my boo.
Second time on the show.
I hate sounding all old and stuff.
Second time holding it down.
No, you just letting them know that the millennials, these young girls, y'all sound stupid. I'm gonna let y'all know, y'all all sound stupid.
And they say they don't need a man, but everything they do is for a man. Everything they do is for a man. They want a man so bad.
If you're born after 95, you sound kind of slow out there.
The views are you, boy.
Yup. I got my lady. I ain't need no other chicks out there, so I'm good. So, like I said, y'all need to listen.
That's all him.
No, I'm just keeping it real.
All right. So real quick, we're gonna get into our advice topic of the day. You know what I mean? Somebody emailed us. He says, I'm a father. I raised my daughter to hold off on sex and wait for the right one. And I'm raising my son to knock down as many as he can.
Oh my.
My wife think that I'm being sexist and unfair. Do y'all think I'm wrong for doing this?
100%.
Yo, real quick, shout out to that follower for sending us. You know, he felt gracious enough to feel like we could offer him some good advice. So
Indeed,
I mean, shout out to them.
But we gotta let him know, which I'm probably very similar to his thoughts, but he sounds like a dickhead. We gotta let him know at the same time.
So you sound like a dickhead as well.
Absolutely.
Sure, but I'm willing to accept it and be honest with myself.
I don't think he sounds like a dickhead.
So
I'm gonna tell you why. Because the way society operates, you know what I mean, I think you have to raise your daughter and your son differently. You know what I mean? Because they look at women differently when they're sexual than they look at men. You feel me? So I feel like he's preparing them for the world.
Definitely
but not knock down as many as you can. I could say, I mean, clearly you know, he's going to have sex. But you still should be teaching him
to have respect for himself.
Yeah, how to have respect for himself, how to have respect for women, how to even treat women. Not to just, because if you just say knock down as many as possible, then how is he treating these women to get through them so fast, right? But then you want your daughter to go out there and wait for marriage. But who is she going to be dating? If
like
everyone is
exactly.
If everyone is raising their son to be like that, this is what she's going to end up with. So she's going to save herself for a manhole.
And not. All
right, but if he's knocking down.
But the problem, my daughter will pick up on the fact that I'm allowing my sons to smash and dash everything, and I'm putting her to this high standard, which isn't fair. Where she's not going to respect my word because I'm not valuing.
And later on, she's not
going
to value the man as well because she sees like, look at what he's doing.
Yo,
like,
make sure what you doing and why you going outside. And I'm just trapping her in the crib. All that's gonna make her do is jump out that window, sneak out, and go behind my back. So why create that monster? Because I'm gonna be making a monster at that point.
He never said he locking her down in the crib.
I'm just saying, if you expect her not to have sex, but you promoting your sons to have sex, what you expect she's gonna pick up from it?
It could also be, sorry, real quick. It could also be just based off of what we're seeing now, in the TV, in social media,
music,
just
and stuff.
music. The way that sexuality of the same sex is being forced on society now.
I get what you're trying to say.
So he's probably
trying to make sure
his son
that he's
ain't
going
gay. Like I don't give a what you watching.
What they always say is daughter's baby, son's maybe. You know what I mean? Like if my daughter is pregnant, we know she's pregnant. My son gets somebody we don't know. Could be
but
a
that's
baby.
exactly why you're not sitting here telling them to go and just take anything down.
Well, to be
like just to. Like what?
In his defense, in the guy's defense, right? Because I grew up with a big family. My mom had 6 kids. It was 2 boys, 4 girls. But, you know, the boys was able to do like everything. And we had so many rules. And we would be like, that's not fair. How come the boys get that? And they would always say, well, because they boys, you know? And, you know, the boys, they had girlfriends come. We couldn't have guys call the phone. We couldn't have boyfriends because my father would be like, your sister, you better beat them up. So we couldn't even have boyfriends. Like my brothers used to threaten every guy that would even say hello to us.
Niggas was scared, believe that.
They was, you know, so it was, you know, honestly, it protected us. It kept, you know, my sister and I in a certain, you know, path where we couldn't be out there thotting because we had brothers. But my brothers was definitely thotting. Like, my brothers had girls coming to the house.
And smashing y'all homegirls.
Yeah, they was, you know, they used to have different girls.
He put all the business out there.
I'm just saying, if you're in the same age group as your
they
sister.
used to have sex, they used to have sex with my friends. They used to have sex with other girls. And sometimes it was more than one girl in a week at the house and stuff like that. So but we couldn't even have boys in the living room. And they used to have girls in their room. So it was a difference. But
that's why now as adults with the, sorry to interrupt, but that's why now as adults when women are freely doing what they're doing, it's a problem. And then when men are freely doing what they're doing, it's like, you know, he's not a hoe, but I'm a hoe.
But let me ask you this. Is it easier for men or women to get sex?
Women.
So with great power comes great responsibility. You feel me?
That's
what I'm saying. Yo, you can go outside and get sex for any man.
There's men that could just get it though.
You feel me?
There's a lot of men that just got it like that.
Yeah, but that's a minority.
But it does take the woman to say, yeah, let's
not
go.
As much.
But most women could get it anytime.
It don't matter how you look, how you build. It don't matter.
And I think as an adult, like men and women value 2 different things. Like men, when you get into adult, you value a woman who treats her body like a temple. Like, you know, you don't want a woman. Most men don't want a woman that's been out there for the streets. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why men don't like this city girl culture. Like, you know what I mean?
And then women don't like men that don't know what they're doing.
Exactly.
That don't know what they're doing.
So he gets some experience and stuff like that by messing with different women. And I think also
that's true.
So you having sex with a virgin?
Would I?
Yeah.
Teach him everything I know.
Hello.
But I will say this. I do think that it is important. So I don't think that it's so bad with the guy because I will say this. Like, women, we are internal. You can't be letting everything inside you, right? Because they leaving all that energy within you. And this is why so many women have so many different
self-esteem issues
in general.
They don't know where they psychological, emotional.
Psychological. There's so many things that you have to heal because you can't just have sex. And if you can have sex with a guy and just move on like nothing, that's another issue. You get what I'm saying? But with guys, they could just hit you. They could just pump and dump.
We're emotional.
Exactly.
I would care sometimes you like my performance. I walked up. I'm like, shit.
I know that's right. Look.
I'm good. I finished it, you.
I feel like I'm proud of myself. You've done good.
I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
But it's more damaging to women to be promiscuous than it is for men.
Right.
For men, they probably just get tired and then they say, okay, I found a one, I'm going to just chill. I done had my fun. But with a woman, like, I think once a woman get onto that whole phase and stuff like that, I'm sorry, you can't really shake that.
Yeah, it don't go away.
Yeah, you be old, you might find a husband and stuff, but you be dipping and cheating and stuff like that. Because you can't really, when you like that, you're not going to go from like dick hopping, I hate saying that word, and then you want to just stick to one.
So you don't lose your whole.
So you're saying when you go through a whole phase, you train.
So you saying women like Pringles? Once you pop, the fun don't stop.
Yep. And they may take some seasons off. Listen, I talk to women for a living. They may take some seasons off, but they get right back to it because they start feeling bored and then they start finding things wrong with the guy that make up in their head. And they be like, oh, yeah. I'm sorry, ladies, never mind.
No. You're not saying no names. You're not saying no names.
So what you're saying is women can't go through a whole phase and then stop. It will always go back to
deep down.
Not saying a whole phase, right?
Not a phase.
Like, what is a whole phase? They say all these women need whole phase, right? A whole phase.
In your 20s, now.
I don't know. I never had a whole phase. But if a whole phase is just a season, I think that you could go through a season where you was just hurt and scorned and stuff like that. Yeah. Because a lot of women, they go through bad breakups and stuff like that. And then they be like, that nigga. And then they just go on a whole phase by dating a lot of guys until they find a guy, right? And then they just stop. However, but if you just like mad years of hoeing, no.
Like that's you always been a hoe.
You been a hoe since you was a little girl.
That's a hoe. Like yo,
you were a hoe as a teenager. You was a hoe in your 20s, and then you gonna be in your 30s.
That'll never get out your system.
I haven't seen it.
It just don't go away.
And recently,
it's not gonna go away.
I don't know if y'all watched
that respect is not there. It's not never gonna come back. That respect is never gonna come back from the men, like men who know you. It's not gonna come back, even if you find a man.
Yeah.
Everybody else, like,
it's
it don't,
within the
like,
women. You understand?
She
because
still.
Only thing that would stop a woman, honestly, in my opinion, is God.
Yeah.
If she start,
yo, this guy, like, yo,
he's retarded.
If she bring herself to God and she start going the Christian route and into the Bible and born again.
Oh, she the biggest liar.
That's the only way. You understand? But other than that, doing it on your own without some type of therapy or some type of whatever. That's like an addiction, right? Because a lot of women, they have the addiction. It's just like drugs.
It's
a
like
lot of times people don't just stop cold
that.
Turkey. It's very rare.
It's not even about the sex.
I always tell people that they gotta go through
the high
their
or
whole
whatever
phase
they looking for
before they settle down, because you gotta. It's feel like you gotta get out your system so it doesn't. It's not in your head.
So you're not like Aisha Curry.
But I also feel like what you don't know won't hurt you.
That's basically what she said. Like
what you don't know won't hurt you. So, like, if you don't gotta be you know what I mean?
Because think about when you was a virgin. You know you wanted that pussy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's true, right? But it didn't take me, if I had the right pussy, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I ain't gotta go be dibbling, dabbling. It's up to me.
But you gotta understand, like she said, the media and society, like, there's little girls listening to Hands on My Knees while I'm on my thot shit. Like, there's little girls singing that shit. Like, you get what I'm saying? Popping their pussy. Like, so subconsciously, that's always in their head. Just like with men, the same type of rap music it's
conditioning.
You know, like, that's why I tell people all the time, this is the last topic, but I tell hip-hop is so detrimental to the community because, especially in the rap community, all we hear about is infidelity. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. So psychologically, if we hear, every song we hear, bitches ain't shit, bitch, I took his bitch because I have more money. Psychologically, that I ain't mean to point directly. My fault. But like I said, psychologically, that plays a factor into men's head where we feel like we can't trust no woman because we feel like whoever got more money, who got more assets, she gonna go to that nigga.
And
like,
women feeling the same way, like they can't trust the men. So now we breed in a culture of people thinking that real relationships doesn't exist, or honesty, or loyalty, or faithfulness, and it does.
I just want to add real quick. A lot of times before we get to womanhood, we're little girls, right? A lot of things factor into, and this is part of the population that I work with. At times, before you grow into womanhood, you're a little girl, right? So when you get to that point, if you become promiscuous, a lot of things factor into that: verbal abuse, mental abuse, sexual abuse. You could have been raped. So a lot of things sometimes factor into promiscuity versus you just being. And a lot of times, those women that are just like lifetime fuckers, they've gone through trauma. And they've never got either, like you said, therapy, or they just don't trust. Like once it's violated, like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Right? Yeah. And it's different phases of our life, which when you study childhood psychology, it's phases through your life. So certain ages, it will give you the memory. Certain ages of your life will give you those traumatic things don't leave you. So it doesn't matter what age of therapy, what therapy you get, depending on what age group that event happened, that's going to be a big part of what sticks with you and what will carry you through.
Yeah.
Not saying all.
A lot of men don't even know that a lot of women have been raped or molested. So you know what I'm saying? We don't know.
So surprising to hear.
And it's like 1 out of 3.
And they don't. And women don't feel comfortable, no matter how long she could be married to this man for 50 years. She never told them that her uncle or great grandpa did something.
I've had has had a
experience
rape or molested.
It's
a lot more common.
Wow, that's crazy.
And a lot of times it's within the family. And that's why, to me, I feel like this. I understand what you're saying, and a lot of people who are promiscuous do have those histories, but there's a lot of people who have those histories.
Exactly, not all hoes.
There's a lot of people who have those histories who are not like that, right? So it comes to, it's your responsibility to get the help that you need. Because I hear a lot of hoes, I'm sorry.
right. A lot of hoes.
But I hear a lot of promiscuous women be like, because I was touching to that. So if you know that's the reason why you're like this, right? You have to. It's an excuse. At some point, when you're young, and this is what you lead into when you're young, right? Before you understand the reason behind it, then I guess you could give the pass. But once you talking about I'm like this because of this, then no, you don't. You don't get no pass.
Chances are that's not why.
That's exactly. Not you don't get no pass when you're younger. Before you could really understand it and process it, that's one thing. But once you kind of understand, like, okay, women who get molested and this is what they. You got your choice.
So what's the general consensus on this advice?
Let's wrap this up.
Okay. So raise your daughter
equally as you raise your son.
Equally as you raise your son.
Should there be some type of double standard there? Like
raise the same way you raising your daughter to be respectful. Raise your son to be respectful
of herself. Because I'm big on that.
And raise him to be respectful of his.
And I'm gonna keep the buck. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna make it seem like it's fair. But once my boys is old enough, then I'm like, yo, you can knock that down, my guy. But I'm gonna still have. And when we, you know what I mean, they got to be old enough and mature enough to understand that. Also, fathers are real different with
their sons.
I say double standard. It's
gonna be double standard.
If I have a son and a boy, I'm gonna raise them different. But I'm not gonna teach my son to knock down as many as you can.
Yeah, that's my thing.
You lay down, you could get up with something you can't give back.
Because it is a double standard. I'm not. I tell my sons all the time, if you touch her. If you with girls, you got to be careful because even though they do this, it's funny. But when you do it, you're going to get in trouble. Like, it's going to be real for you. Yeah. For her, it's ha, ha, ha. For you,
a female can slap you on your ass.
It's not going away. You're getting in trouble.
It's cool.
It's cool. Like,
so it is,
you slap a female on her ass, your ass going to jail.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be hurting a lot of young women also. You understand?
Men treat women the way they treat their mothers and their sisters. Because for women, it's not just.
And I definitely changed my life after I had a daughter. I swear to God.
All right, so keep doing what you're doing. Just tell your son to be respectful, and keep your daughter respectful as well.
Right.
Take us out of here,
man. This was a great episode. I'm not gonna lie. We definitely appreciate y'all for coming to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Let them know where they can find y'all at.
Small Assets, Instagram. I do have a candle company. You won't get cut. I do have a candle company, Small Sensation. Check out my Instagram page and my Facebook page. Thank you. I had a great time with everyone.
Okay.
Jackie, and my Instagram and my YouTube is Jackie Dollhouse. I am a hairstylist, and it's spelled a little different, JACQI Dollhouse.
Yeah, we're gonna have that in the bio.
We're gonna put that up for y'all.
They're gonna be spelling. I know they're gonna be spelling that shit wrong. Like,
I know everybody spell it wrong. They look at it and still spell it wrong.
Crazy. Katrina with a K, like the hurricane. Katrina El Rivera on Instagram. That's about it. Thank you for having me.
Word. And we definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in. Instagram, they still hating on us.
Instagram, they hating on us.
Yo, shout out to the TikTok, man, because I really been showing us love on a TikTok. We almost had 60,000 followers.
Yeah, heard me.
We never thought we would get that far, but YouTube as well.
Yeah, we need some sponsors. You want us?
I mean, we working on that.
Y'all want to be all in the videos?
We working on that. We got a couple of emails.
We're
gonna announce that later.
But if y'all want to be all in the videos, come to Death Row.
And make sure y'all subscribe to us on YouTube, man. And we be back with another episode, man.
You heard me.